Got a lawn and yard lover in your life that's possible to buy gifts for? Well, these are my last minute gift ideas.
If you're anything like me, last minute shopping is the absolute way to go because I'm a giant procrastinator. So let's get right into this video. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just taking about 25 years of experience in the lawn care industry on what I actually use on a regular basis. So let's start out with number one. I will post a link in the description of the video with all these products. And right off the bat, this is one of my favorite tools. It's an AMS soil probe. This comes in under $100 on average, and I'll tell you why. There are various soil probes out there. This one is powder coated. Now, over the past 3 years, I use this on a regular basis, probably about 3 to 5 times a day. You can see some of this coming off, but it's got this nice little lip. You can get the cores out really easy. It's got this chute, very easy to see. Now, what is this used for? Primarily to check soil and water saturation depths in the soil. This becomes particularly important when you have some sort of a problem with your sprinklers where you have a dry spot here and a dry spot there. Very first thing that you ever want to check is how much water that you absolutely have in the soil. My second favorite item is this Ryobi bike pump, and I know you're thinking that's not yard care. Well, it really is. I can pump any sort of tire up to this. Also, all my kids' sports materials, balls, etc. Shockingly, I use this on lawn equipment that actually has tires. Now, the best part about this Ryobi one, the reason why I like it, it's actually got a pressure gauge right here on the back. So as I'm pumping, it works fantastic. And this battery is a 18-volt lithium-ion battery. It lasts for a very, very long time. I think this entire year I've charged it once. To have this in the back of a car is a fantastic item. It's very simple to use, just as you would any other pump. Now, truth be told, I've never really been a huge fan of battery-operated devices, but snow pushing with battery power is my absolute favorite. Now, these power shovels, I'm a huge fan of. Now, brand really doesn't matter. I'd probably stick between the Toro and also the Ego. The Ego is kind of nice because it's got the flippers that go back and forth. These get a little bit heavy just due to the overall head and the actual battery insert that you have here. My suggestion is find one of these that fits the ecosystem of battery that you have. These are shockingly nice to use, especially around your walkways and your patios. And also if you have a smaller driveway, let's say something that is 500 square feet or less. I've found that these will throw snow up to between 17 and 21 feet on average from what I've tested, and they really stand the test of time. Really had zero maintenance with these kind of devices. One of my favorite things for snow. Now, if you're looking to spend somewhere between $25 and $60, a handheld spreader is a fantastic idea. Now, I really love my hand crank models because they just always work, and I absolutely love this spiker spreader, but I will tell you, I've done some videos on what not to buy because some of these battery options don't throw the fertilizer out well enough. Luckily for us, technology has gotten better. This company out here, I believe it's called Unique Whammo or Uni-Whammo, something like that. But I absolutely love this. I've had the chance to use this. What makes this awesome is that they have different models for different types of batteries that you already own. So if you're a Makita guy, you're gonna buy the blue model. You're a Milwaukee guy, you buy the red model. And if you're a DeWalt guy, you buy the yellow model. Now, this thing is fully built for a handheld spreader. I've been really, really happy to see it. It's actually got a shield that you're gonna find on some of the $450 push spreaders to keep fertilizer off of the edges of concrete. That's already built in here. It's got different settings as well. So you've got a minimum battery setting, and then you can maximize that to really push it out. And then you've got your settings here that change the internal setting on how wide that chute is going to open. So the one is for smaller granular on all the way up to your 8, which opens the entire thing up. Now, I find with these spreaders, if you have 3,000 square feet of grass or less, huge fan of handheld spreaders, and this really is a game changer. Now, not only can you use it for fertilizer, but you can use it for all types of applications like spreading grass seed. You can use it to spread salt on your concrete during winter months for de-icing. There is a lot of unique ways that you can use a handheld spreader, which is why this is one of my favorite picks. And between $35 and $55, it's really difficult to pass on this. Now, if you've got somebody in your house that is just OCD, likes to keep everything clean, I love this BL motor blower. Now, this was a suggestion from one of my buddies to try out. Turns out to be a fantastic product. Very easy to use, and yes, it's just a blower. It comes with several different size tips that are exchangeable and changeable on this, and it's got a low, medium, and high setting. Here's low. Oh yeah. Here's medium. Woo! And here's high. It blows all right. Now, if you've got one of those people in your life that's always in the yard spraying something, you can't beat these Flow Zone Typhoon series backpacks. Now, here's my reasoning behind this. This thing sprays at 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet per minute. That is very, very quick. It's a lot of liquid coming out. Now, the magic behind this is it saves you a ton of time. So those, for example, those handheld backpack pump sprayers will do 1,000 square feet somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes. So if you do the math this way, if you have a yard that's 3,000 square feet, which is about average, it's an average to small yard, this will do it in 3 minutes, where the average backpack sprayer is going to do it in 10 to 15 minutes. So it saves you a ton of time. Not to mention, in my opinion, you can really dial this thing in because as the spray is coming out, it's very consistent. It also comes, you can get different bits for the end of this. You can swap it out. They have a dripless wand system on it. I'm a little bit taller, so I like it without the wand, and I really enjoy the cone tip that they already have on it. But there's a lot that you can do with this. You can spray bugs around your house. I've gotten pretty creative with this as well, spraying distilled water and spraying some of my windows off and really cleaning up top. There's other attachments that you can use with this, but there's the price is a little bit higher. You're gonna pay somewhere between $199 on sale on up to $400, so it's not for everybody. But the actual straps are padded very well. It's got this hip hugger on here, so you can really keep the weight on your hips. Very ergonomic style. It's got a couple of built-in filters, just like anything, but the parts on this are my absolute favorite, because if something breaks, it doesn't matter what part on this sprayer breaks, you can get a hold of the company and they will send you a new part on here or sell it to you so you can fix it anytime you want. You got somebody where grass is life? Well, I'll tell you what, these lawn dethatchers are hard to beat because it's gonna get all the dead stuff out of the lawn to make the grass even greener. One of my absolute favorite products to use, not this one. This one will actually be somebody's worst nightmare. It's the hardest tool in the world to use. But I want to show you in theory how this stuff works so it makes more sense on what you're buying. Basically, we come over to the lawn. The Dethatcher gets dead grass. This tissue is no longer alive, and it pulls it out of the lawn. Now, in essence, you get better color throughout your lawn because you're getting rid of the dead. Now, luckily for us, a bunch of these companies have manufactured electronic versions, and I find that I really just prefer the wired ones. So Sunjo and a bunch of others manufactured these devices that are wired. The only downside is you have to buy an additional cable. Now, let me kind of show you. This one hasn't been used for a little while. This is called a scarifier. Both of these come with these two attachments. Scarifying is to dig ruts. Also allows you to do seed projects very, very easily. This is your traditional lawn dethatcher, as we say in the United States. It's basically a scalp brush for the lawn. Very easy on the lawn. You can actually use this weekly. I've tried it out with having no issues. Minimum, I prefer to have that golf green look, and I like to use these machines about once every month or every other month to keep it easy. But as long as you're keeping up on it, this is probably my #1 favorite lawn tool. Now, if these models are not available, some of the competing products are totally fine to buy. I would just highly recommend that you make sure that they come both with the scarifier and the dethatching attachment. Next on my list is that device that you had no clue that you needed until you absolutely needed one, and that is the Jesper Speed 1550 wireless jump starter pack. Now, the reason why I say this device is something that you need is when your car dies, or if you have a yard care equipment or something that has a dead battery, this thing is amazing. This tiny little booster pack, I've never seen anything like it, but I was able to jump a massive tow truck with it that requires 2 batteries, and it's a diesel engine. This little itty bitty thing outperformed bigger packs. And I would say the battery stays charged for 3 to 6 months at a time. But the convenient portion of it for me has been, it's got all these outputs. So I've got a USB-C and I've got 2 USB outlets that I can use all simultaneously at the same time. So I've got 3 screaming boys in the back of my car because their devices aren't working or they're not charged. I can carry this with me and they can not only use their devices, but it's charging them at the same time because it's not a trickle charging device. It's a 5-volt out of 2.4 volts. So what that means is it's got that fast charging to it, and it's also got that USB-C in and out. The only downside to this one is it takes a very long time to fully charge it. I was able to jumpstart cars over and over and over and over before this thing absolutely died out. So, but what I'm amazed at, again, is the amount of amps that this thing will push out. I've had cars on my property that were just fully dead, where you could barely jump start it with another car, meaning you had to attach the car for a very long time to really reprime the battery. Well, it's got this boost on here that ups the amps that allowed it to start the car very quickly. And on top of that, it's also got other connectors in so that you can use it in the cigarette lighter to boost other items that require heavy amperages. So if you've got like a vacuum or like a mini refrigerator, you can use that with this device. So you can take it on camping trips, use it around your house, etc. Now I saved the best for last, and this is kind of a 2-in-1 idea. Now this is the Milwaukee M12 Fuel. My buddy talked me into getting this because I was always having little projects around the house and doing the yard that I had to get done, but I really didn't have a tool set that was compact enough to keep it away from the kids that was just mine. And I absolutely love this thing. Look at how easy this is. This thing is tiny. It's got a ton of torque to it. Been very happy. Battery lasts forever, but I can also keep the charger in here as well. And it's got a little bit of extra room in here. So this usually fits inside of here, and then this battery fits inside of this little glove area right here. Now here's the kicker. On Amazon, my mechanic buddy also let me know about this product, and I've since fallen in love with it just as much as he has. This is called the Wera Tool Check Plus. This comes with most items that you're going to need, up to a 13mm socket down to 5.5. But check this out, very tightly fit. You've got all the different types of bits that you're going to need, from spade to Phillips to your regular flat, and also an Allen bit too. Little hand tools that are very tiny to get into tight little spots, and it also comes with this extension. Now, the one thing that a lot of people aren't thinking about is, yes, it comes with this tiny little setup, right? But nobody wants to deal with hand tightening items. So this just happens to be the exact right size with this M12 Fuel, and you can use any of these tools inside this device at this point, and it works fantastic. fantastic. I like how small and compact it is, and I literally just put it all in this tiny little bag, and voila. Now, my only dysfunction on here is there's plenty of times where I'm going to need sockets that are much larger than this, and so having an additional adapter for this device, I recommend that. I was able to purchase for, I think it was an extra like $5 or $10, the standard size from, I think we have 1/4, 11/32, and 7/16 with this extension rod as well that makes things very, very handy. And this is probably my favorite buy of all of 2024. Again, I can get, I would say 90% of my projects done with this device for my lawnmowers, for everything. The only quirk that I have is when I need those larger sockets. Well guys, this concludes my last minute gift ideas. If you feel like I've left something out, please comment down below what your favorite product of 2024 is for a last minute gift idea, but make sure you put the overall price range as well in your comment. Till next time guys, at the Pest and Lawn Ginja, we're slaying Christmas.